on.
Negative, K, nothing further, just Kitty Corby in the corner. That's a direct order. Do it now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, October the 30th, 2025. We're Roll Call Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. I'm here with a few of my friends. I got D with us. I got Will with us. I got Ty with us, Rich, Mark, AC, Jerry, Derek, and Cheech. And we have a show planned for you guys. Before we get started, we want to have our intro and our moment of silence. And then I'm gonna ask that Cheech would give us our disclaimer and Rich would give us our statement of purpose. D, you on mute. We just have our moment of silence and then we'll have disclaimer from Rich and from Cheech and then statement of purpose from Rich.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Before we get started, wanted to go over a couple of things. First, we want to let you know that the comments made by members of Roll Call are the opinions of each individual. They are not intended to be legal advice, recommendation, or suggestions. You have to remember that the laws change from village to village, city to city, state to state. So please check with a local attorney or your local police department for any legal advice or any questions that you may have in your area. Also, we do display videos and photographs some which may be graphic in nature. We use these to spark our conversations. They are not intended to offend anybody. If we play one of these, a member of the panel will let you know ahead of time in case you don't want to watch it. These videos are not the property of Roll Call. We get them from social media like YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. So you do have access to the same videos that we do. Also, the language used by our members is very spontaneous. It is uncensored. It is not intended to offend anybody, so please do not take offense to it. Everybody here speaks from the heart. We speak our truth. You will see that sometimes we don't agree among each other, but we never take it personal, and we hope you don't. If you have any questions, please put them on the chat, and a member of Roll Call will try to address it when we get to it. Thank you. Rich?
Thank you, Cheech. Once again, we're Roll Call Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. We're a pro-law enforcement group. We're for equitable policing. We're against racism. And Black and Brown lives matter. We're glad you're here with us today. And, once again, this group has started because we had a rash of shootings on unarmed Black men, if I'm not mistaken, 5 years ago. And I'm thankful that that's kind of stopped. We haven't had the rash like we used to. And we're still here fighting a good fight, keeping up with current events and trying to give you information that might help you in your community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheech and Rich. And Rich, thank you for going into that, because that is our purpose. That's why we are here, because what we have seen in the past, and because we have seen in the past, we don't think that we're crazy, think it won't happen in the future or can't even happen right now. So we're keeping our finger on the pulse, and we're trying to stay ahead of this stuff and trying to make the community and our people more aware of the dangers that are out there. So thank you so much for that. Mark, thank you for that reminder that you just sent to me. But also we're praying today for JT in Orlando. We're praying for Cheech and his wife Anna, and also for Cheech's cousin, who's going through the system right now. We're keeping him and that family in prayer. Mark, we're still praying for you. I know Mark looks well, but Mark is still healing, and we're going to make sure we keep him in our prayers. This month, October was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I know we're at the end, but it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My mother is a survivor. My wife is a survivor. So I am appreciative. What are you going to say, Will? I see you pointing. You're who? Come on. Come off the mute.
My wife.
Your wife. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, listen. Then you know what I know. Right. It was rough. They actually thought my wife had it in the liver as well, so it went further than just the breast. They started checking the liver as well. But here we are 21 years later, and she's still here. So
yay, Sylvia.
Thank God for that. Also, tomorrow is a national holiday, y'all. Tomorrow, Derek's wife's, it's her 25th birthday again. On tomorrow, so a big shout out to Deirdre Parrish Williams on her birthday tomorrow. She's a Halloween baby, and for those of y'all, I don't celebrate Halloween, so don't get mad at me. I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't put no candy out. I don't do none of that stuff. But if you go to my office, the other 364 days, there's a whole lot of candy up in there. So my kids are still mad at me today because I wouldn't let them go to school in costumes or anything. They mad at us today for that. But listen, that's how we looked at it after we did our trick or treating.
Double standards.
No, I wasn't saved when I was a kid. But when I was saved, I started a little bit differently. And they were like, I can't believe you had us in school and all the kids walking around in costume. Little did Sylvia I know, they just started telling us this stuff now. They would make up costumes in school and put stuff on and go out there. They'd be marching anyway. They weren't paying no attention to us. But thank God for that as well. Let me see. Someone in my room. But all right, so let's get started here. Anybody have anything you want to say before we get started? No. Before I go, Mark already reminded me to make sure that we remember those who were caught up in that terrible Hurricane Melissa, and those in Jamaica in particular, and all those islands in Cuba that's heading that direction. Everyone that was affected by Melissa, We're praying for them and the families, and even those who are still over here in the United States whose families are over there, because if they're hurting over there, you're hurting over here. So we're praying for them, especially Tyrone. Tyrone has, I think he said, 62 family members that were affected over there. So we'll make sure we keep the Green family in our prayers as well. Anybody else before we get started? All right, then let's get started with video number 1. This was on the news with Sonia Massey. And I'll let Dee introduce us to it, or whoever wants to introduce us to it.
All right, I just want to say really before we get started, shout out to our chat. Make sure you write a few questions down. Get involved in this thing. We appreciate when you guys are involved. Sylvia Butler, Melissa Sutherland Moss. Just looking down the list. You guys tell me if I missed somebody. Donald Coleman, Beverly Harrelson Wells, The Quiet Storm. Kyle Louder's on here. Hopefully she pops in today. And Eric Jones and Renee Henderson. Did I miss anybody?
Ruth Caffey.
Ruth Caffey. Did I miss? I didn't see her in here. Oh, there it is. Yep, Ruth Caffey. There we go. All right, really quick. We're gonna go to back to the Midwest. I remember about a little more than a year ago, I had a young lady in her kitchen, Sonia Massey. She was cooking. Apparently, she heard somebody outside. She did what you're supposed to do: call 911. When the officers arrived, they didn't really pay too much attention to what was going on outside, but went inside, and she was cooking. And she made a statement to one of the police officers, and he acted in a way that he shouldn't. And we know that now because he just got convicted. But we wanted to do this this report here because we got an opportunity to hear what his partner said, and then to hear what he said about that incident. Now, they're standing right next to each other. Two totally different stories. And it's a good depiction when you're watching it to see how you could be standing right next to somebody, sitting next to them in a car, and you totally see things differently, 100% differently. Let's go to the first video. I want to do a trigger warning just to make sure. I think it's in the second video, but we just got a trigger warning. In case you're a little squeamish, you might want to hold off on that. Let's take a look.
Explosive new testimony from inside an Illinois court. For the first time, we're hearing from the partner of an ex-deputy who's accused of killing a black woman in her own home. The partner says he was actually scared of his coworker and not the woman, Sonia Massey. Sean Grayson's partner, you see him here in this court sketch, is telling the jury tonight that Massey never seemed to be a threat that night last July. Massey had called police, remember, late one night. She was worried about a prowler. This is body cam video of Grayson and his partner responding to that call. Things started getting tense when Grayson asked Massey to put down a pot of hot water that she had grabbed from the stove. So this is her. You see her walking over to it in this part of the body cam video. We'll show you a video the next moment when Grayson fires his gun at Massey 3 times. We've got to warn you, it is obviously hard to watch.
You better I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face. Okay, I'm sorry. Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
Now, prosecutors say this body cam video proves that Massey was not actually a real threat to Grayson. But Grayson's attorney argues that his client's actions were reasonable under the circumstances. Grayson has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder. Maggie Vespa is outside court. As court, Maggie, has just wrapped up in the last hour or so. And that very notable testimony today from Grayson's partner. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, Hallie, that was explosive. He took the stand late in the day. His name is Deputy Dawson Farley, and he basically was immediately questioned by prosecutors. He was a witness for the prosecution about Sonia Massey and his feelings about what she did when she had that pot of water. They were asking him things like, were you nervous based on what she was doing? He said no. They said, were you worried she was going to hurt you? He said no. Then he went on to clarify that he was indeed scared that night, but not of Massey. Instead, he said he was scared of his partner, Sean Grayson. There were protesters out here earlier today. We relayed that tidbit of information to them from our producer inside the courtroom. This was the organizers' reaction.
If your own partner was afraid of you that night, that means that you were unhinged. That means that you had no business being on the police force. Your job was to protect and serve, and if your own partner was afraid of you, Sonya didn't have a chance. With Sean Grayson being in her house that night, it was the devil at her doorstep.
The devil at her doorstep. Hallie, after that testimony, for the first time during this trial, prosecutors in there played the body camera video that we've all seen that's been seemingly around the world tied to this case. And our producer said it was really heavy in that courtroom. One juror appearing to cry, another one covering their eyes with their notepad. Grayson, during most of it, looking down at his lap and appearing, our producer said, to cover his ears at the moment of the shooting. This is members of the Massey family were led out of the courtroom sobbing. Now, again, as you said, Grayson's team saying that he was reasonable to fear for his life in that moment. They've been urging jurors throughout this process to not form opinions too early and to think about what it must have felt like in the heat of the moment. And again, they argue that he genuinely feared for his life. But as you can see, Hallie, prosecutors doing everything they can to tear that rationale apart.
Maggie Vespa live for us there in Illinois.
This morning, closing arguments expected to begin in the high-stakes trial of the former sheriff's deputy accused of shooting and killing an unarmed Sonya Massey.
Sheriff's office.
Sean Grayson taking the stand in his own defense Monday, telling the jury he thought Massey was threatening him the night he and his partner responded to her home near Springfield last year. Massey had called 911 to report a disturbance.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Grayson says he took the phrase, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," as a threat, testifying he thought she was going to throw the pot of boiling water on him.
I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
But in body camera video, Massey doesn't raise the pot until after he raises his gun. A key distinction, prosecutors say. He shoots and kills her moments later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop the pot. Drop the 19 shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Grayson telling the jury he didn't use a taser because he had an older model. And Massey was wearing multiple layers of clothing, saying he didn't want to take the chance of it malfunctioning.
Now, before Grayson took the stand, his partner, who responded to Massey's home with him, said he did not see Massey as a threat before his partner fired his gun. Grayson pleading not guilty to all charges. Closing arguments, guys, could begin later today. Wrapping up soon.
Okay. Will and then Mark.
So the outcome is what it should have been. And I don't think that anyone will argue that. Clearly, I take that back. Clearly someone did because he had an attorney representing him. And that was the argument, trying to convince someone that his actions were reasonable under the circumstances. I got a couple of problems with this scenario that I didn't realize the first time. His partner testified that he did not see a threat. So he pulled out his gun and pointed at her as a sympathetic reaction. He didn't try to intervene to de-escalate his partner to keep him from shooting her. It's a problem for me. The whole excuse about why he went through that entire soliloquy of why he didn't choose to use the taser, you're kidding me, right? I'm happy with the outcome of the court case, but I am still very unhappy about the outcome of the loss of life. That's it.
Thanks. Mark?
Yeah, so on that point, I have to give the benefit of the doubt to the second officer because he wasn't at the same vantage point that the other guy was. But I have to say kudos to him for testifying and telling the truth, because without that, he would have gotten away with it. That's all I want to say about it.
Okay, thanks. D?
I thought the job was to protect and serve. I don't see much in policing sometimes that has anything to do with protecting. You think about this, and I've been thinking about this for over a year since it happened. And I said it last week with the other shooting. We said, oh, why not just walk out the door? If you don't want me in your house, I'm here to help. I'm on the other side of the door. I got calls backed up. You understand? If you don't want me here, I'm out. If you're having a mental situation, I'm out and I'm calling for some mental help, calling for an ambulance. There's steps before we go to the gun and shoot way too fast. Way too fast. Jim's not here, but he put something in the chat earlier this week. Shots fired, shot fired, shots fired. We're in a world where everything is cut down, and I responded to that. Well, that's never. You're not supposed to say that over the radio. That's not we were never taught that. Guys, go back to you. There's extra words in there that are missing. Shots by police, shots at the police, so the responding guys know what's going on. It's simple. Shots by the police, shot at the police. Very simple. I think that's our first go-to. We said it shouldn't be a tool of compliance. The woman has a hot pot of water, and you somehow think hot pot of water equals gun. No, I'm not there yet. Help me. I'm coming up on 40 years. I'm not there yet. I don't understand hot pot. I've been cut, face broken up, things. It got to go far beyond hot pot in your hand for you to pull out a gun. First, to pull out the gun, because understand, to pull out the gun, I got nowhere to go, right? It's not a tool of compliance. Pull out the gun. You got to stop what you're doing. You got to stop doing that. And now once it's out, I gotta use it. I'm not there. If you're scared, we said it last week. If you're scared, you might want to find something else to do. if everything that happens, you pull out your gun and start shooting folks, you in the wrong line of work, partner. you know, I stop what you're doing. Cause I'm about to ruin the image and the sound that you use. You ain't doing your job if everything scares you. If everything, I gotta shoot the little babies, I gotta shoot the women, man, come on. So I think we have to get to the place, and he's being held accountable. I don't know whether we gave all the information, because the videos, I try to make them as informational as possible, but they forget some stuff. He's convicted, rightly so. All of us had him convicted a year ago. I don't know why we needed a trial. That's the one problem I have. The quiet storm's not here. We don't need all this. When you're wrong, take your medicine. Let's get it moving. I don't know why we waste our time going back and forth. I knew he was wrong back then. I don't know whether you guys saw the video, but he actually moved into the line of fire of his partner.
Yeah, he did.
Now all of us know, if I gotta move into the line of fire, my partner has a better view, right? He becomes the number one. If I gotta move in front of his gun, that's not tactics, fellas. We were never taught that. You maintain your water, meaning your area of responsibility. Let him make the call. Same thing on the pursuit, right? You start to move. As soon as Rich gets there, I'm not touching that radio. I gotta drive. Rich is calling it out. He's calling all the good stuff out. You know, we got to get back to training. We got to get back to good tactics, and we got to get back to good policing. This ain't it. And we're here and we do these videos because we realize this ain't it. There's nothing right about this. Some people say, you always coming down on the side of police. I come on down on the side of them. I'm going to come down on the side if you're wrong. You're wrong. You got to go to jail. What are you talking about? Right is right, wrong is wrong. That's all I got.
Hey, D, I just want to respond to you real quick. Maybe that officer's movement was intentional. He blocked the view of his partner so his partner wouldn't see what he was doing and what her reaction was, because he wouldn't be able to testify what she did prior to him unaliving her.
Right.
So it might have been planned.
All right, listen, I'm back. Thanks, AC, for covering me for a few minutes. Good to see Larry Camp, Reverend Larry Camp, with us this afternoon. And I see it look like it's Derek, Ty, Jerry, and AC.
Yeah, and I noticed the same thing that Will did. that the partner pulled his gun out quickly. As soon as Sean Grayson got his gun out, the partner pulled his gun out. And to me, that shows a negative culture. The police culture is a bad culture for citizens. So everything that when you look at some videos, you hear police always talking about officer safety. You never hear them talking about citizen safety or civilian safety. And you know, they swear an oath to protect and serve the community that they're being paid by. But once they're out there, it flips. And that's not for everyone, obviously, but for many of them, it flips. And I don't understand why the second officer even pulled his gun out. If I'm on that scene and an officer pulls his gun out and I don't see a reason for the gun to be out, I'm not pulling mine out too. It makes no sense to me. But she had a hot pot, probably 10 to 12 feet away from him, and she had the pot because he instructed her to go get the pot. He instructed her to address the pot. Now, mind you, is it possible that water could boil out and a pot could start smoking? I'm sure it's possible. It's not likely, and it's damn sure not likely with someone sitting right in the room. So there was no reason for him to even tell her to go get the pot. Now, there are a couple of other theories that are out in the airwaves, and one of them is that his girlfriend, fiance, whoever she was, had some kind of beef with Sonia Massey earlier that day. And that's what's out in the airwaves. That's what's been out for a while. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I didn't understand initially when he asked her to even come in the house. She heard a sound outside. He searched outside, found no one outside. I didn't find anyone. You're going about your business if you're the officer. I don't even know why he wanted to go in the house. And then once he's in the house, he starts giving her instructions about what she should do in her kitchen. And then he threatened to shoot her in the fucking face, which he did. So there's a whole lot fishy. I still don't understand why the partner pulled his gun as well, but it seemed like Officer Massey had an agenda. And I'll just leave it at that.
I agree with you on that, Derek. When I look at the same thing, like, listen, there's noise outside, whatever. I don't see anything outside. There's no need of me coming into your house. But I can come to your door and let you know I didn't find anything, I didn't see anything. If you hear something else, give us a call back. But I ain't see anything. And that's the end of that. But in the house, and now she's dead, would she win $10 million?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, she won a lawsuit of $10 million, which is nothing compared to a loved one being lost.
Right.
$10 million is not satisfactory. Ty, Jerry, AC, and Rich.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you for joining us as usual. We got to remember that she was the complainant. She called 911. Is that correct, D-School? Mm-hmm. She's the one who called for a suspicious sound outside of her home. The longest part, correct me, officers, on this call, the longest part of this call should have been the search around the house. Yeah. After that, sorry, ma'am, it's unfounded. If anything else was called back, bounce. Am I correct? Or am I crazy?
Correct. You're correct.
I mean, how many times have we done that? And I've worked hundreds of calls with AC, more with Cheryl, Donald, and Mark. Mark the most. So Mark and I worked midnights for about 3 or 4 years together, steady. And I can count on one hand the amount of times we pulled our gun out, if at all. Donald and I have been through some fights. I never remember me and Donald pulling our gun out ever. Have we done?
Listen, I'd be afraid to pull my gun out because I don't want someone snatching it.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So Don and me and Mark tell you some stories, and I just don't understand it, man. Too much is emphasis on the compliance, as Dee said earlier. They're using the weapon as a weapon of compliance as opposed to a weapon of protection, which it was there for. And that's what it has to be. And I just wanted to, Dee stole my thunder. That's why I wanted to bring a point, brother. It should, yeah, D Schooner, yeah, you. That the longest part of that call should have been the 6 minutes it would have took to walk around the house and make sure nothing going on, and knock on the door and say, "Thank you very much for calling, ma'am. It's all clear. Any problems, just call back and bounce." Thank you.
Okay, let me just get to this real quick. Those who are online. Richard Ballard says, "Howdy. Finally, I'm watching from home. It's Donald's fault. I'm sick in bed." Which Donald? Donald Trump or me? No, that is my first cousin, so I put it out there because I want to know if he's blaming me for this. Then Melissa Sutherland Moore says, "How will what happened in this case lead to actual changes in policing or policy or training?" Good question.
It won't.
Very good. Well, that's a good answer too. But definitely a good question. Let me stop there, and then I'll go on further with the other persons. But if anyone want to address that, then I can get to AC, get to Jerry.
Jerry.
Will, with your hand up, Will?
Yeah, Will's hand was up, but he's on mute.
To your point, Ms. Moss, what happened in that scenario was not a training or policy issue. Because if it was, it would have never gone to trial as a criminal charge. And unfortunately, our profession is like any other profession. We choose the individuals based on the findings of the background check and their qualifications, but we choose from the same group of civilians as any other job does. Overwhelmingly, we get it right. Unfortunately, when we don't get it right, it goes way wrong and becomes a very ugly stain and negative representation of the profession as a whole that we have to try to climb out from under each and every day.
Okay, before I move on, I got to go to Richard Baldwin's statement. Cops have no duty to protect and serve. Warren versus District of Columbia, unless a person is in custody. Also, Castle Rock versus Gonzalez.
I understand that.
D, go ahead. I see your hand go up.
That case law, my friend, has to do with the difference between, it's the public duty doctrine, and it's holding police officers the different duty to individuals and the public at large.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to make that distinction. Now, a duty is a responsibility. We have a lot of laws we have to follow, all of us in law enforcement, penal laws, CPL, local laws, town laws.
Mental
health law, go ahead. But we hold our hand up day one before we got it, and we make a pledge to the policy law. Now, I don't know if Richard Brown is a law enforcement officer, but when you hold your hand up, there's a 3 or 4 page conversation that we have before we say I do, and this is what I'm going to do. Protecting and serve is in there about 4 or 5. I know I tried to find it, pull it up about 6, 7 times. All right. Your duty, forget law just because I don't want to be held responsible. That's not what all of us put on a uniform and went out there and did. That's not what all of us jumped in front of bullets, ran toward the buildings when they were coming down. It had nothing to do with being held liable to the law, because I want to tell you, and you guys help me, that's not what I think about when I'm doing my job. I have a basic duty to protect everybody in this room. If we in a place, we just came back from Richmond, it's the most comfortable place to be because everybody in here is on top of their game and protecting it. It's the most comfortable thing ever. I go places all over the country with people. I don't feel that. But I go in this room because I know everybody in this room, not the law, they're not legally responsible. We're not sworn anymore. But we have a duty to ourselves, a duty to each other, a duty to our families. It's a basic inherent duty when you put your hand up. Don't have nothing to do with the law. I don't want to get sued, so let me go and serve and protect. That's not how it works. And I know, looking from the outside, you want to look at case law and you look at these things and you make a value judgment and you think it's that simple. You do or you don't. It's legal, it's not legal. That's not the way we do our job. The legality comes in while we're doing our job. We have a working knowledge of it. But there's a basic duty. All of us run toward the shooting. We run toward the burning buildings. We slide into the upside down cars. I'm talking about myself. And I wasn't thinking, oh, the law states that if I slide into this car, I have a duty to. Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm trying not to get my head cut off. I'm trying to get this pregnant lady out the car. I don't have time to have this philosophical conversation. So when we say a basic duty, I say to protect and serve. It's the reason we put on a uniform, put our hands up and go out there. A lot of times it ain't going to work out. A lot of times I don't have a case law to talk to you. A lot of times, come on, y'all, it's right or it's wrong. They safe or they not safe. A lot of times, that's the basic. So when I say that, that's what I mean. When I'm in that room with that one, I'm thinking of right and wrong. I'm thinking she a little crazy. I don't want, whatever the case may is, I could get out. Those are the things I'm thinking about. I'm not sitting there thinking, well, you know, the police against Warren County says that I have a duty to. Man, come on. That's not what we mean when we say protect and serve. And it's all in all of our moniker. Everybody's moniker. Protectance, that's the basic thing we're doing when we're out there.
That's true.
That's the true. Basic thing. Hey, there's something going on. Don gonna jump on his motorcycle and go. That's it. Mark's gonna jump in his helicopter and get there. He's not worried about it. Nobody worried about the motorcycle crashing or the helicopter. He's trying to get there, right? Most of us, 100 miles an hour. They just like to drive fast. No, we don't. We're trying to get there before anything worse happens. So I appreciate the comment. But I just want everybody to understand that I know we put in case law. We don't have the quiet storm here. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what that doctrine says. And you can fight that doctrine at court a year. Right now, we're a year and a half later. But real time, when I'm going through that door, I ain't worried about that damn doctrine.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mark, go ahead, man. I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to attack that question a different way. So if an officer's standing there and a guy runs up and says, "Hey, officer, that guy just stabbed me. He's running down the block," and I say, "Yeah, all right, let me get you some help," and let the guy keep going, or I turn around and go about my business, I may not be legally responsible, but as far as the job goes, with our rules and regulations, we can lose our job because we fail to take action. So that kind of breaks it down another way of what Dee was talking about, that to the civilians, that maybe be a little bit easier for you guys to understand. So we may not be held legally responsible, but like Dee was talking about, morally and with the job and what we swore to do, we are held responsible.
Absolutely.
Great answer. Great. That's a chief's answer, y'all. Just want y'all to know that that's an administrative answer right there.
He was the cop first. He was the cop first.
Yeah, but it's still an answer that you would hear from the top.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why I was glad when even when Will was speaking, because I know he's gonna come. Mark and I talk all the time that some of you guys always come from an administrative point of view. I understand that. Derek, Mark, D, Jim, we understand that because you had to deal with it in that sense so often. So it's like automatic for you guys to think that way. So, but thank you for your response to that, Mark. Jerry, I hope we didn't make you forget what you was going to say. I hope you wrote it down. We got Jerry, EC, Rich, and Derek.
A lot of it you did cover. One thing that Derek said that I had absolutely no clue about was a female acquaintance or relationship with Grayson. Had a disagreement or had an encounter with her that same day. Didn't hear that one. I also thought that earlier, because this has been out for a minute, that when they approached the scene, that there was a window on a car that was damaged, but no persons found around. I did think there was damage to a car, and I could be wrong about that, but I did think I had heard that there was a window that was damaged. The fact that he did indeed tell her to go get that pot off the stove, and then told her he was going to shoot her in the face, and then did it. I actually personally have a problem with the fact that the verdict is only second degree versus first. I have a problem with that because first degree, 40 to 50 years, which means like life. This second degree is up to 20, and yet and still he may get time served. I mean, granted, now the family got money, but I was told it could be up to 20, but it could just still be bye-bye, time served. And this guy had been in how many different police positions all over different states in a short period of time?
Jerry, you did your homework, girl.
This man killed this woman. This man killed this woman in her kitchen when he told her to go pick the pot up. That could be me. You know me. I'd go do what he told me. And then I'd say something and I'd be
right.
And when you talked about the fact he walked in front of his partner's cam was the one that was on at first. He didn't even have his body cam on. His partner had that on. So yes, indeed, he was trying to block. Because the man was he was the one who was videotaping in the first place. They said he turned his on right before he shot her. But at that point, he's blocking the guy's camera with his body. So, you know, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, Jerry. You gave a whole lot of information.
Good job, Jerry.
Really, you gave a lot of good information. And so we appreciate it. Listen, we have you on here for a reason.
Yeah, you keep telling me that. Thank you.
We have you on here for a reason. Period. Anyone who's on this panel, you have a purpose, you know, and your input means something. All right. So don't think it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. Okay. Thank you for that. AC, Rich, and Derek.
Okay. As Dee said earlier, he was guilty a year ago, in my eyes at least. And the reason for it, to disagree slightly with Will, it must have something to do with some training. Now, I'm not saying the training is at fault or faulty. I'm saying he needs more of it. I always say bad police work causes problems. Again, I think Tyrone mentioned it. Once you're outside, you took care of the problem. You saw what you can do. You go make contact, let them know we did this, it's not there. Go home. Go on to your next call. Come back and drive through later. There's no reason to go in there. You know, if you don't do the wrong stuff in the beginning, you never get to the hot pot.
All right. All right.
You never get there. You know, there's no reason to be in that house.
Derek told you why he was in the house. Derek told us why.
Something happened at the hospital earlier with his girl, whatever. That may be so, but it's no reason to be in that house. They even think that he might have been the noise outside. But you know, regardless of that, I'm trying to stay away from all the theories that say that. The fact is, they shouldn't have been in the house that long. She didn't need any other police assistance that they can give her at that time. Well, you know, later on they found out that they thought she might have been crazy or something. They would never have known that if they got out the house. Never, you know, you go to the door, make contact, let them know we checked, nothing here. We'll come back later on. You know, if you call, or I might drive through later, check on, make sure everything's all right. There's no reason to be there. That's why I'm referring to bad. You're not serving the community. You're serving yourself to do all that.
AC, Karen Caffey also says, and didn't Grayson hesitate to call the paramedics?
Yes. He told his partner not to.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wanted her dead.
There was another question I had up here earlier. Let me see, what was it? Karen Caffey also said his mother said that he was not raised that way.
Of course not.
And it probably wasn't. I mean, he probably wasn't.
I'm sure she didn't tell him to do that.
Right. But regardless of how he was raised, this is what he did.
Yeah.
You know, and some of us gotta be responsible for what some of our children have done. or may do. And we know we didn't raise them that way. I mean, if you're a parent, I'm sure every parent could say that. Let me stop playing games here. I'm sure every parent could say, I did not raise my child to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we know they've done some stuff that we would not have done.
Well, we also know that some things that kids do, you're not surprised.
Right.
Character does not surprise us for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part, we know if they said, this child did this, then no, not that one. Maybe the other one, but not that one.
Or they may go further.
No, not my child.
Yeah. They may have gone further than before, but they've been working their way towards there.
Yeah. Listen, character is something we know about all of our children. Let me, AC, are you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're done. Rich, Derek, and Mark.
Yeah, good afternoon again. Jerry, just to address your question about murder one, he wasn't going to be charged with murder one. They may lose that one so they got him on second degree murder because they could actually prove that. Murder one has all these different stipulations of murder, like laying in wait or, premeditated, where you develop a plan to kill somebody. That's murder one. But they knew they could get murder two, which they did. I'm glad they did. So just to answer that for you, Joe, why they didn't go murder one, because they may have lost that one. Because he could bring out the tactics. They came in. He felt he was feared for the safety with the hot pot of water. Could have used all that, and he may have gotten off murder one. You want to say something? Go ahead.
The only thought that I had was that he was up for both, and the jury decided second degree, not first. That's what I thought, and I could be wrong. And maybe you're saying that the jury thought? I mean, they could prove? I mean, I'm confused.
Murder one has different stipulations.
No, I understand it's harder to prove, but
right.
The charges I thought were both, and the jury decided murder two versus murder one is what I thought. And am I wrong?
No, the prosecutor sets the charges. The prosecutor sets the charges beforehand, before the jury knows anything about it. The prosecutor sets the charges, and the prosecutor sets the charges based on the ability to prove the case.
Gotcha.
Now, we know it's murder one. The problem is there's no way to prove it. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So
you may want to emphasize that a little bit, Tyrone, because someone may be listening and say, well, don't we want to get the most charge, the most time out of this? And you do. But again, what Tyrone is saying is like, listen, this is what we want, but it's harder to prove that than it is to prove this. Now, this right here is an open door case. We got this one here. That one there, if we miss and mess up, he walks.
He walks free.
Can I give a perfect example?
Yeah.
If they had charged O.J. Simpson with conspiracy to commit murder, he would still be in jail right now, as opposed to gotten off of all charges because they charged him with murder one. Does that make sense? That's a perfect example of what not to do. They went for the whole water instead of taking care of the baby, and they lost the whole case. So that's why.
So my prayer should be that he does get the maximum of 20 or something close to that.
Your prayer should be that Bubba comes to visit him the next day. That should be your prayer.
No, Jerry, do not pray for Bubba, Jerry.
Bubba. God is still working on me, Donald. God is still working. God is still working on me.
Listen, he's getting his punishment, but I'm not gonna ask for more. Because Bubba ain't gonna have no mercy.
That ain't Bubba's job.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks you guys for your participation. Derek and Mark.
No, I wasn't finished. You guys cut into all these segments.
I'm sorry. Listen.
I just addressed Jerry's question first, but I wasn't finished with my thought.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This case, this fault lies on the department. And I think we need to emphasize that the department is at fault because they picked this guy up and he had been in 6 departments within, I don't know, a short period of time. Obviously, this guy's a problem. His history dictates that he should be on the street with a gun in the public. They deemed him on his divorce trial as a high mental cruelty involving him with his divorce case.
Wow.
I researched whether there was some kind of connection between Massey and Grayson, and there was none. Not waiting with the girlfriend or whatever, or the wife. There was no contact or no connection based on what I could find. But who knows? I know in the Chauvin case where he killed George Floyd, there was a connection there, and that one was pretty much well known that they had prior contact in a situation before in the club, and jurisdiction and power, and I guess George Floyd was dating a woman that was related to Chauvin, so that was like a bigger deal and more intense. But I couldn't find anything regarding Grayson and Massey and any connection at all. I think I got a little flavor of the EDP possibility based on the contact with her as well, but it wasn't a situation where you'd have to take her in for a 72-hour evaluation. Maybe he was trying to get enough information to lean towards that. I don't know what he was doing, but this guy, decision making, problems he's had, all the information hasn't come out what he's been involved in. But I think the department's at fault if there's a wrongful death. I don't even if a wrongful death case has been filed. It should be against the department as well as Grayson. So that's just my thought on that. Thanks.
I thought the family got $5 million.
Got 10 million.
Did they? Got 5 million?
10. So
okay.
it was 50-50.
Yeah.
So they did file in the department.
Yeah. So
or the city or whatever.
Yeah, they won $10 million.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Gwen Rose says facts for what we were talking about earlier. She said it's what you can articulate and or prove. Yeah, so you got to be able to prove. You can't just say, "Well, we're going with murder one," and that's it. No, you got to be able to articulate it and prove it. So, just for you, Jerry, and Jerry, I think you kind of like frowned up and like I don't understand when Rich said EDP. Did you got it?
I assume it has something to do with mental disorder, but
emotionally this third person. I'm trying to watch everybody's facial expressions, and I miss some, but I try to watch some of them. But Derek, you're up, and Mark, you after Derek.
Yeah, for the more recent point of Grayson's mom didn't raise him to conduct himself that way. The prisons are filled with people. The prisons are filled with people whose parents didn't raise them to do what they did.
That's true. That's so true.
And for Mr. Bowden's point about the Supreme Court rendering a decision that police officers are not responsible for the safety of people, police officers don't just conduct their day-to-day duties based on the law and Supreme Court rulings. They do it based on a combination of the law and their departmental procedure. So, I don't know how big Hempstead's patrol guide is or San Diego Harbor's patrol guide is. NYPD's patrol guide is about this thick. It's about that thick. And we don't just have a patrol guide. We also have a criminal procedure law. We have an administrative guide. And then, of course, you have your penal law and things like that. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. And when you're dealing with certain things, you need to understand what you're supposed to be doing on a step-by-step basis. And most of those steps have nothing to do with the Supreme Court.
The law, exactly.
Right. It's the procedure that is in your patrol guide. And that's what you live by day to day as a police officer. Obviously, you want to keep yourself safe, but you definitely want to keep the people that you're supposed to be serving safe. Also, NYPD actually had a motto, and we had to learn this motto. And the motto was talking about going to the police academy, enter to learn, go forth to serve. That was the motto. So you're supposed to go out there and you're supposed to serve the community in which you work. And that's all I have.
And that's from another department. And New York City Police Department was just miles away from Nassau County Police Department. And Nassau is right there. Where Hempstead is in Nassau County.
Right.
So all these departments are close, and a lot of things that a lot of police departments do take things from New York City Police Department, or the state police, because Hempstead at one time did not have a patrol guide. We had the state police patrol guide. So, Mark, you're up.
Yeah, I was in NYPD. I was in New York City Transit. It's still basically the same thing as I said before. You legally, by law, you can't get arrested, but through the jobs, rules and regs, you can. The one thing that we had said before, and all of you guys pretty much agreed, and I have to differ. The only reason the officer would have gone into the house is to take a report. We've done that a million times. We respond to something. If there was something, then
Right.
we say, you want us to take a report. We go in the house, take a report, and then we were gone our merry way. But yes, on that particular instance, it did seem like, I don't know where Derek got the information from, but it did seem like there was more to it with that officer, even wanting to get into the house, engaging her the way he did, standing in front of the other officer, blocking him. All that stuff was crazy. So, yeah, you'd have to look at it as, this guy was intending on doing this woman harm. I did 36 and a half years total. I don't remember once ever telling somebody I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Hey, Mark, I don't remember ever telling anyone to turn off a pot.
Yeah.
I know a couple of officers got thrown spaghetti on them, and that, the whole uniforms was.
Truth be told, I did help a family get some crabs back in their pot. That's the truth too. That's the truth too.
I know you
know what I'm talking about.
Mark, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
If something's unfounded, what kind of report is the officer going to take?
No. I said in that instance. I said normally, if we got there and there was an incident, we would
an incident
take a report. But
Yeah.
if nothing happened, and I said in that instance, everyone's correct. There is no need. But I was just general. Yeah, an officer may come into your house, but it's to take a report, not to
Right.
argue with you over something that has nothing to do with the call.
Right. Okay. I missed that completely because I was like,
I thought you
the
were
heck?
about the crabs in the pot.
No, because then you probably
weren't
go.
helping nobody put no crabs in the pot. You might have been taking them out.
Now, it was funny. They were putting crabs in the pot. One got out, and it was like 3 or 4 women, and they weren't having it. And they called the police, and that just shows you we respond to everything. So and next thing I know, can give me a wire hanger. Give me a wire hanger. It had crawled and backed up underneath the stove. So I hook it, pull it out, grab it, throw it in the sink, tell them rinse it off, throw it in the pot because you don't want to waste crabs. And that was that.
I'll be back soon.
I'll be back.
Fix me a plate, right?
Lord have mercy.
Before we go to the next video, Karen Caffey says, just like Tamir Rice killer bounced through several departments before that tragedy. So she makes that statement. Gwen Rose says the differences in departmental guides can sometimes cause issues when on scene with outside agencies. And usually when that happens, it's the agency where you are that takes control of that scene, right?
Right.
Unless
who has jurisdiction over it.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of change AC? Like with Hempstead has a homicide scene, and
that's why I said jurisdiction.
Okay,
felonies are investigated.
Even though it's in our geographical area of employment, Nassau County has the jurisdiction of it.
Well, felonies, yes.
For felonies, well, did I say a murder or homicide?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, all right.
They have dual jurisdiction, but they don't usurp us. It's still our investigation.
Right.
They assist us.
Okay.
That's why we pay money for the county and then county tax. And then what happens is we utilize their equipment, their officers, and we pay for that. Every village.
Okay. Gotcha. CJ.
Hey, Donald, I would like to say to Karen, because she mentions Tamir Rice's tragedy. Unfortunately, that case was not that. I mean, yes, the officer was the shooter, but the reason why he was the shooter is because they didn't give the operator that was the dispatch person, she did not put out all the information that they were entitled to. And that's how that officer killed that young man, that young boy. That dispatch officer did not tell them that the caller states it could be a toy. And then the driver of that vehicle, the officer that was driving, he literally drove the car right at the kid. I mean, he positioned that vehicle where the passenger was dead ass in front of the gun. I mean, I can see that tragedy happening to me. And I put myself in that officer's position a many a day only because of the lack of information given and where he was positioned in the vehicle when the other officer drove that vehicle up to the kid in the park. So that case is a little touchy for me only because I put myself in that position and said, could I have killed that kid? And my answer was yes, only because I wasn't given the appropriate information, and not knowing that gun could have been a toy, seeing that gun and knowing that I was right there in his face like this. Yeah, I could have taken that kid out myself.
All right, CJ. Real quick before I come to you, Mark, I got the video coming up right after Mark, but let me just say this. Gwen Rose says she's cracking up at crabs back in the pot. Cracking up at that. Donald Coleman says maybe she knew something on him that he knew and he didn't want it to get out. Oh. Gwen Rose comes back and says, and that, my friends, is how we serve the community.
Yes.
And then Kyle Lauder, the Quiet Storm, says, sometimes with major crimes, outside agencies will take the lead. And I think Mark addressed that with how Hempstead does it. And then Will, I saw your hand. I'm coming to you, Mark. Promise.
With the point that Kyle made, I just from the southern side, the only way an outside agency comes in and takes over is usually like if we have an officer involved shooting and our standard operating procedure says that we bring in the State Bureau of Investigations to avoid any perception of favoritism or impropriety. The feds will only come in if it meets elements of a federal crime committed. So either that is requested of them or it becomes high profile enough that they come in and say, okay, we're taking over. But otherwise, there usually is not a preemptive takeover. It's usually a matter of a request from the agency with original jurisdiction to move up to a higher level from municipality, which is municipality and sheriff's office, going up to the state, going up to the feds.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with what Cheryl said. And I had said this a while back. That's why the communication operators' jobs are so essential to us, because they're giving us the information and we're responding. You're blind. You don't know what you're going to. They have all the information. And if they leave something out like that, like, oh, it could be a toy, whatever the situation is, that can be the difference between life and unlife. You like that, D?
I love it.
I escaped the word. I remember this time. But anyway, but it's crucial that, they don't hold on to information. And that I was supervisor for the COs. And that was one of the things we had to deal with. And, we had a good bunch that would put out whatever was necessary. But, I agree with Cheryl.
Okay. I am in my time with Hempstead, I remember 4 COs in particular that gave out everything you really needed. One being Cheech, who's on there with us right now. The other one being Colleen Bull. The other one being Mary Fox. I ain't going to you, Cheryl, because you did CO work, but you was a police officer.
Oh,
But,
I don't know. I'm not trying to count me. I'm just making sure you get all of the right ones in there.
well, listen, I got the 3. This is my last one. I don't know if you agree with it, but my last one is Joe Wing.
He was
Can I tell you the one that you should have been mentioning was Michael James.
Oh yeah.
I didn't work with him that much.
What? Now
No, I
that guy, let me tell you right there. Michael James, Colleen, and others that you mentioned, Neil was a great dispatcher too.
Sharon Herrera as well.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I didn't work with her that much either. So I only named the ones that
if you worked the regular hours like the rest of us did, you would know how all the dispatchers work.
Oh no, but then I'd be tired. And it'd be like work. I ain't trying to work. I'm trying to just keep a career going.
I want to tell y'all, and I'm just talking to our the audience that is listening to us. Accurate communication is key for us to do our proper details.
You ain't ever lied.
If you don't give me the male black with a red jacket on, black baseball cap, I may go after the wrong dude. But all of those little details, when you call 911, I'm just saying get as much information that you can remember, retain. I tell you now that I am 66 years of age. If I can't, I'm starting to suffer from CRS. And y'all know what that is. I take my cell phone, I'm clicking and taking pictures of everything. And then it's all right here in front of me. Oh, he had on a blue shoe, and I got all the details right there by my phone. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm starting to forget stuff, Donald.
Listen, I don't even believe it. I'm telling you now. Cheryl Jackson has a photographic memory. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I worked with Cheryl. And I had this car pulled over. This race car. I mean, this car was like, Cheryl comes to assist me. Get out of the car. I go back to the car. The guy takes off. I don't have any information. Cheryl goes over on the air with the plate and everything. I'm like, how'd you get that? Cheryl had it right in her head.
Once I read it, I retain it. That's what it is.
Yeah, just by showing up, CJ had it all in her mind. So she's talking about she's losing her memory right now. Something ain't right, y'all.
Don, I don't want to drag this on, but to our audience, if you do have to call the police, it is very important. You may not want to give your name, but try to give them as much information as you can, because it helps greatly with those officers responding.
Absolutely. D, what we have next, D? Is that the Tennessee sheriff?
Yeah. We got a I don't know whether most of you know, but there's a Tennessee sheriff that he defend jailing a liberal activist for posting a Trump meme. Now, it was a repost of a meme. I want you to take a look at this, because we post and repost memes, and we start talking about people getting locked up for certain things. This is for reposting a meme. Take a look.
Jailed for a meme. Tonight, a Middle Tennessee sheriff defends the arrest of a man for posting this online meme quoting President Trump. Good evening. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. Free speech advocates are sounding the alarm about this man's arrest. But in an interview, Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems claims this man left him no choice.
The sheriff sat down to answer some tough questions from News Channel 5 chief investigative reporter Phil Williams.
Phil, there are a lot of people out there who are outraged over this.
That may be an understatement. Larry Bussard has been behind bars for more than a month, and right now he's not scheduled for another court appearance for more than 5 weeks. The question is, should this case ever have gone this far?
Yeah, there's been some very, very bad phone calls that my employees has had to endure. Our dispatch has had to endure.
For Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems and his office, the last few weeks have been rough as word has spread about their arrest of 61-year-old Larry Bussard for a Facebook post. A local judge set Bussard's bond at $2 million.
He's been here for 35 days.
35 days. Over a meme?
Well, it was a series of posts, but yes, the one post that he made was the one with Donald Trump that got everybody's attention and was considered threatening.
Okay. Thank you.
Local police took Bussard into custody at his home in Lexington, Tennessee on September 21st based on a warrant issued out of Perry County. The one-time cop is one of those rare liberals in rural Middle Tennessee and a keyboard warrior known for posting progressive memes like these.
This is what they charged me with. Okay. Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring to a school. I have no idea. That's what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I play on Facebook. I threaten no one. I know you don't give a
This is the meme that landed Bussard in jail. He posted it as part of a discussion about Charlie Kirk's murder. The meme quotes Donald Trump saying, "We have to get over it." It was exactly what the president said the day after a deadly school shooting in Perry, Iowa. That's the meme that he posted, correct?
That looks like it, except this part was blurred out, the face.
Where is the threat in there, Sheriff?
Right here.
Sheriff Weems says some in his community took the reference in the Trump meme to Perry High School to be a threat to shoot up Perry County High School, which had recently had to deal with a threat from a student.
Whenever you come to a Perry County page, okay, that is set up to let people know what's going on in Perry County, and you post this talking about Perry High School shooting.
It doesn't say Perry County High School.
It says Perry High School mass shooting one day after, okay? That led people to believe in our county that he's talking about Perry County High School because it doesn't say Iowa either.
But you also knew this was an existing meme that was already out there on the internet.
Correct.
And so it's clear he's not talking about Perry County High School.
We knew. The public did not know.
No one even replied to that one meme, the meme that's in question here.
No one said this is a threat against our school.
No one even mentioned it.
Chris Ergel from South Carolina heard about Bussard's arrest and started a Justice for Larry Bussard page on Facebook.
A reasonable person cannot possibly interpret that as a threat. So I'm not sure what he's reacting to. I think it might be his own feelings.
So why not just inform the public that this was not about Perry County High School?
Because here's the thing. Whenever you're dealing with something like this and you've got multiple people that is now scared to send their kids to school, we tried to take a different approach and go and speak to this guy and say, hey, look, this is what you're doing.
But it's just, freedom of speech, you know?
As Bussard's wife explained to police, he saw nothing wrong with what he had done.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been, but
that's not illegal.
All of this could have been avoided, the sheriff says, if Bussard had just deleted the meme that people in Perry County had found so objectionable.
Whenever we sent Lexington Police Department out to speak to him, and he refused to do that, I mean, what kind of person does that? What kind of person just says he don't care? You know, I'm not taking it down.
Maybe a person who doesn't think he's done anything wrong.
Well, in TCA's eyes and our state legislatures that's put this law forth that come out July 1st, 2024, says otherwise.
As for Weems' statement that Bussard would not be in jail today if he had just deleted the post, Chris Ergel says that shows it was never really about any threat against Perry County High School.
Pretty much tells me he doesn't consider it a threat. If you think it's a threat, why would removing it make any difference?
In your heart, do you think Larry Bussard was threatening to shoot up Perry County High School?
In my heart, I think Larry Bussard knew what he was doing once we made contact with him, or once law enforcement made contact with him. And I believe that he knew what he was doing, and in my heart, he violated the law set forth by our legislatures.
Now, Mr. Bussard.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
All right, I hear you. Let me go with I have Derek, Will, Cheech, and Mark. Is that the order? It doesn't look like it on my screen, but that's the order I wrote it down in.
All right. Yeah, I feel like if this chief was the one who directed the arrest, he should be arrested. There was no crime whatsoever. He said the public didn't know, but it wasn't the public that charged him. The chief was responsible for his officers going out there arresting this man for not committing a crime. And the wheels of justice also are supposed to turn efficiently or expeditiously. The guy's locked up already for more than a month with 5 more weeks to go before his court date comes up. This guy is serving more than 2 months for what everyone can plainly see is him not committing a crime. It's unfortunate. I'm sure it's affecting his family. Hopefully when it's all said and done, he wins a huge, unless I missed something, I didn't see a crime. But that's all I had.
Thanks, Derek. Will?
Probable. You got me?
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2 words. Probable cause. We all heard that sheriff say here in his office, they knew that what he posted had nothing to do with any threat against that high school. At that point, it doesn't matter what the public may or may not think, which he didn't put up any evidence of any comments from the public. It doesn't matter what the public thinks or doesn't think. When the law enforcement agency responsible for investigating, and he has said as a sheriff that there was no probable cause to believe that that post was intended or received by his department as a threat, the arrest should have never happened. So we won't even talk about the ridiculousness. I know that's probably not a word, I'm making it up, but the ridiculousness of a $2 million bond. And all he had to do was take it down. Yeah, that one stinks badly.
Take it down, and then there's no more threat.
Correct.
I hear you, Will. I hear you loud and clear. Take it down, then there was no threat. Keep it up, then there was a threat.
And the community didn't complain.
Yep. Who do I have now? Cheech, Mark, and D. How is this thing? Okay, Cheech, Mark, and D.
Yeah, I agree with both Will and Derek. They admitted that if he had taken it down, they wouldn't have locked him up. And that's the only reason they locked him up. They knew it wasn't a threat. But the second part of that is the judge to set that bail so high, knowing the circumstances around this case. That I also blame that judge for this whole situation. He should have thrown it out right away.
All right, Cheech. Mark?
So, freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore. You guys didn't realize that with this new current freedom of speech is very selected. It's what they decide that you can say. Other than that, it's illegal. Sheriffs are elected officials, part of the political thing. So who do they answer to? Okay. It's all political. It had nothing to do with justice. Had nothing to do with a threat. It was all political. And
it's all because Donald's picture is there.
Hello.
It was the first of all, we've had many situations where the citizens felt this way and we knew it was this way and we just corrected it. But we didn't go locking up innocent people. And that's not how a police department should run anyway. So, public attitude or public opinion, we don't answer to. We got to answer to the law.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's against public opinion until they find out more about it, more details. So, but like I said, it's my biggest thing is when politics gets into the police department, I have problems. And when it gets law enforcement, because it's just sheriff's got a lot of power too. Let me tell you, they got a lot of power. And they don't operate like police departments. So be careful where you move Find out who's in charge and how they
go down.
You know, just don't worry about the school district.
Don't come south.
Yeah, you got the hard way, right?
You're in heap of trouble, boy.
CJ,
Yes.
put a little respect on that name, Donald. All right. Mark, I just got D and AC.
All right, really, really quick. The First Amendment is thrown out the window. Just know that if you repost a meme that somebody else made, this guy got locked up for reposting a meme. Not the guy that made the meme should have got locked up then. And the president that said the information from his mouth should have got locked up. Am I the only one saying you're going to lock the guy 3 steps away that reposted a meme, but the person that made it and the person that said it are walking around? So we say freedom of speech, and it goes a little further than that. You can shut down a government if you don't want the list to come out.
Hello.
Woo! I don't want the list to come. I cannot allow a congresswoman to get voted in because of the way she might vote.
Not voted in, sworn in, because she's already
right.
voted in.
They won't swear in because she might vote. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen listening. This is where it starts. If this is okay, look at what's happening in the snap. I know y'all hungry now. Y'all didn't think it was gonna. They didn't go. Listen.
Bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you?
They coming for you now, right?
No, they get ready. If Roll's call is not on next week, they coming for you. We gonna be locked out because of you. All listeners at 3:00 next Thursday. If we're not on, blame D.
So the Quiet Storm says in the chat they didn't like the correlation the man made from incident to another. What was said in relation to school shooting in their mind did not relate to the shooting they cared about, so it's a threat. Y'all know Kyle's over there just picking this thing apart. Y'all know
she had to pull over. She had to pull over.
Stop running. She had to stop running.
Hot, boy.
And Natasha Jackson, that's my niece. I guess she likes your sound effects, D, because she says that's my movie. All 4, okay.
All 4 of them.
Yeah, all 4. Yeah. So, Rich.
Yeah, just real quick. Breaking news.
AC. I didn't get AC. Go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, okay. Just something real quick. Breaking news. The Senate just voted 50-46 to strip Donald Trump of his power to impose tariffs. This is the first crack in the GOP against Donald Trump.
All right.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up.
It is a tax, not foreign policy. It's a tax.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Is turning.
Yeah.
They're
almost
doing
what they're supposed to do.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hold up, AC. No, let Mark get his in. Then we give it back to you.
No, let AC go. Mine was a joke.
Okay, go ahead, AC.
Wanted to laugh. Okay. Well, I want to talk about what D covered the reposting being crowd out the post, but $2 million for bail. So that means they was afraid that if he got out, he'd be in danger of posting something else.
Well, he's a flight risk.
No,
Derek, that part.
Yeah, right.
He gonna leave the country.
That's punitive. You know, the goal is to penalize him, make sure he's in jail. That had to come
Yeah.
from. Well, I'm not gonna say where he came from. He gets in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble with him.
But AC, he got the experience. He got the experience of what it's like to be a black man.
Oh.
He did.
Oh.
He did. He got the experience.
Somebody go to Dee's house and take the equipment from there.
All his sound effects.
D at home.
Right? He ain't home.
D is having fun with us today, y'all.
Okay.
Listen, I ain't going to D's house without an invitation, period. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
and when I get there, I'm calling them, let them know that I'm outside.
Yo, man, it's me. It's me.
Yo, he was like, I see you.
It's me. You see me on tape. You see me on the video. I'm out here.
Listen, D's gonna know as soon as you enter the county.
How about that?
He's gonna have you on cameras.
Well, Rich just said it. Look at your video. You see I'm here. Look at your video. You
Yeah,
know
man,
I'm
you
here.
see me? Don't play. You see me?
Listen.
Donald Coleman said Dave should be in a whole lot of trouble.
Right? He's still on.
You know that's the truth.
Well, listen, I just wanted to say something positive. I think the president did a great job in China and touring Asia. And I think the next thing we should do is drop him off at the DMZ and let him walk into North Korea and talk to them. And hopefully he'll get the Brittany Griner effect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure we don't come back Thursday.
One joker that every country in the world would send back to us first-class mail.
We don't want him
Absolutely.
here. We don't want him here. Take him back. He's yours.
You guys are having a good time.
27.
Well, listen, we're at the end anyway. I do not even want to start another conversation because that'll take us about 10 minutes. So
hey Don, real quick, can I get like 20 seconds?
Yes, sir.
Can I get 20 seconds? Just take a look.
Yeah.
These have been up all week. I hope y'all enjoyed them.
Look at this damn clown in blue. Go stick your ass in the microwave.
Your wife teaches you that?
No, your ex did.
Oh,
Got consent? Take your hands off me. I know my rights.
That's the bird.
Call my lawyer.
He talking to us? Guess so.
Feathers up, okay?
All right, that's new.
Wow.
That was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
Oh, that's talk behavior.
Yeah, he's heard
Training
that.
day.
All right, go ahead, Don. You can close us out.
Okay, listen, thank you guys so much for participating. D is in his secret cave. Tyrone's in his secret cave. Cheech is working. And we're here. And those on Facebook Live, thank you so much for being there with us and your input today. My wife is over here bowing like she did something. You know, she's clapping for you.
Thank you. I support it.
And then tomorrow is Deirdre's birthday.
Happy birthday, Deirdre.
Happy birthday, Deirdre.
For those who don't know, Deirdre is Derek's wife, and she's going to celebrate her birthday again. So we say happy birthday to her. Reverend Camp and CJ, good seeing both of you. Y'all took a vacation from us. Y'all like y'all mad.
Look, I was threatening to get written up.
They made bail, Don. They made bail.
But they're here, and I always have my backup over here. So I thank God for my backup. I got on at 2:25 today, and he was already waiting for me. So, but thank you so much. And
I'm sorry I couldn't make it. There's some things I'm in the middle of. I can't reveal it yet. It's positive, but there's some things that I'm working on. The one thing I don't do is reveal anything until it's done. So
more to come.
Our congregation is investing in some things, and so we've been doing that, and we're going to be doing that pretty much all next year as it relates to the progression of how we're going to move forward and with our property, not selling it, but investing it. And so, that's what we're doing. I got to kind of keep an eye and an ear for all of the various developers and what they're saying and things of that nature, because it's just about leaving a legacy, not for myself personally, but for the congregation. So that's the reason why I have been absent. I've been absent from a lot of things other than my home and the church, because those are priority, really.
Okay.
Right.
Again, it's 4:31. Thank you guys so much. Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. D, as always, you're killing this technology stuff. I used to do it when we first came on, and I'll put a video up on there and it would work. Somehow I forgot how to put a video up on there. So
yeah.
Oh, Rich, be quiet over there. But listen, thank you.
But you're paying your Wi-Fi bill now, so it's all good.
Mark, you gonna let him say that to me, man? Are you gonna let him say that to me?
Get him next week, Don. Don't worry about it.
All right. Listen, again, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being with us today. And if it's God's will, we'll see you next week. Reverend Camp, you feel like praying? I know you or CJ, because both of y'all are prayers.
Go ahead, Camp.
It's never praying is never boring. Eternal God, we thank you for this time, and we thank you for everyone that's part of this panel. Pray that you would continue to bless their homes. I continue to lift up everyone, and certainly another year extended to Derek's wife. And we continue to lift up the hearts of Donald and Sylvia Butler. No matter what we do or no matter what we say, nothing can replenish what they have lost. We pray, as what Samson had said while he was blind and in the arena and pretty much separated himself from God. He said, give me strength one last time. And I pray that you would give the Butlers strength, Jesus, even now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Yes, Lord.
Amen. Amen.
He ain't coming back, Donald. He beat feet.
No, he there. He right there. He there.